What is happening, good folks of YouTube? It is me, London. I'm back here with another video from Fantastic Hip Hop. They've been really on a roll in these last couple days with these videos, so why not support them by reacting to them? And then also please subscribe to their channel, like their videos. And today this video is talking about why Drake's getting cooked for having new Kendrick diss tracks. I'm pretty sure I talked about this in the last video, but I'm sure you go more in depth of it because I didn't really go all the way in. But pretty much Drake has some more diss tracks towards Kendrick, apparently, supposedly. That's what 50 Cent said. It's pretty much just another J Prince situation where J Prince said he had a diss track for Pusha, but he decided not to release it because it was too I don't know. But every time Drake loses in a rap battle, I don't know. I don't understand it. Every time he loses, it's just like there's just so many excuses for him. And it doesn't make any sense to me. Anyways, let's get into the video.
Now, with what Drake has just done, despite the way he has been getting dragged in the media non-stop right now for just consistently pushing the boundaries on how pathetic somebody whose job title is a rapper can be, he is not stopping any of his efforts to remain in the limelight and attempt to try and garner back any fans that he lost. And although every effort of his so far has been continuing to not just fail but make things worse, right now with the latest way Drake is trying to convince people that he is not at rock bottom, has managed to be one of the most confusing and pathetic yet, and as a result, the term crash out at this point is really getting an entirely new meaning. Because seriously, with the narratives Drake is trying to push now, and the obvious—
He's not even crashing out, he's just being, he's just not, thinking about shit he's doing, to be honest. He's just doing whatever. I would say he's spiraling out, but that's kind of close to crash out, but it's not really that. It's just, he's trying to do so much damage control, and it's just so weird. It's not working for you, buddy.
Is blatant manipulation that he is trying to win back any respect with. Aside from already being the most despised person in hip-hop, even in a genre and art form where redemption has been such a big theme over the years, with what Drake has done, he has really just soiled any chance of ever making a comeback. And now, before we get any further into this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton.
Subscribe to Fantastic Hip
With
Hop.
what we have seen happening regarding Drake, for a change, instead of having himself embarrassing his own name, reputation, and legacy, others are actually going out and doing it for him, whether they realize it or not. And in this time where nobody wants to be seen, associated, or affiliated with Drake, this has changed a little bit, as not one but two major players in hip-hop now are standing alongside him, with the first person being none other than Lotto, who did a video for Drake's—
We don't care. I'll be honest with you, I don't care what Lotto has to say about anything. I do not care. I don't care if we're from the same city. I do not care. As far as I'm concerned, Lotto, you can stay over there and do whatever the hell you gotta do. Because whatever you're talking about pertaining to this beef, we do not care.
Brand, where even when trying to hype up the stuff he is working on outside of music, what's very noticeable here is that Drake and his creative team still decided to poke fun at Kendrick Lamar by making an emphasis to talk about how the brand has shoes even for short people, and in the frame when Lotto says this, they zoom in on white Air Forces. But now, even bigger than this subtle way of trying to make fun of Kendrick, and with someone of Lotto's size doing it at that, there has been another person who's not just a star in hip-hop, but really a titan in the industry who has been around for decades, who has seemingly went out and tried to, while not necessarily defend Drake, just as attempted to recontextualize and make his position in his beef with Kendrick look way better than we all saw it out to be. And who did this was none other than 50 Cent. And so now what 50 did was to first off try and frame just how stacked the industry against him is, by looking and talking about a list of seemingly—
This list was fucking hilarious. This list had me fucking dying. When I saw Sean C. Jeez, I can't talk with gum in my mouth. And Screwface John. That's when I knew that this shit was over with. Because what the hell did they do other than react to your shit and then give their own opinion about your shit? And why do you care so much? Why do you care? It's crazy to me.
Every single person that Drake is against right now, and while this list originated on social media, it is framed as the official list of everyone who Drake has beef with. From the obvious people like Kendrick Lamar and all the artists against him, to even NBA players like LeBron James and DeMar DeRozan, to even some other content creators and legendary hip-hop journalists. While 50 Cent was looking at this and thought it was funny in a way that there is an entire list that someone made to really highlight just how many people are against Drake, the fact that this list has reached the point where it is being printed out, and now with 50 seemingly showing off and going through it, this is going to be taken as the official rulebook of who is really against Drake. And so far, the optics of this are just not good, because if people ranging from Tyler the Creator to LeBron are not on your side, maybe you need to start reflecting on yourself. But we all have known this.
Everybody's been saying this from the beginning. There's no reason why everyone's just against you right now. You've been doing some shitty things. I know ever since the Fetty Wap situation, ever since I heard about that, even the I Love McConan. Ever since his situation and Fetty Wap situation with Drake, I just have not liked him. I have not liked him at all. He's a scumbag. You do some scumbag ass shit, people not gonna like you. I don't know what's so hard not to understand about that shit, man.
Already. And now what's way more important to what 50 Cent said on Drake's behalf, and what is actually changing the way we looked at the beef and the future of his career against Kendrick Lamar, is that 50 revealed that in Drake's vault of music, he has even more Kendrick Lamar diss tracks that we have never heard. And now what 50 said specifically was that Drake was loaded and ready to go.
Then why didn't he do it then? Why didn't you pull a Kendrick? Why didn't you do two diss tracks back to back, man? Why didn't you do that? Huh? Could have had the hard part 6. You could have taken off the hard part 6. You could respond with something else. But you didn't. No one believes you, bro. No one believes you.
I know they had new material. There's no way you stop, and you're losing. Nah, I gotta fix this. And now with 50 saying this, putting this alongside all the other context we know and everything this beef has shown us, this is actually revealing to us a lot. And now first off, going back to a track like Push-Ups, if hearing the DJ Who Kid intro wasn't enough, which for those who don't know was 50 Cent and G-Unit's official DJ, and seeing Drake have an entire G-Unit spinning chain at the beginning of the Family Matters music video didn't help either. With 50 Cent now having actual information about the fact that beyond the tracks Drake released already, he had even more, when you really put the pieces together and see how Push-Ups was a whole track where Drake was saying that with everyone he's going against and with everything he's doing, he is turning into the modern 50 Cent, it's safe to say that 50 wasn't just in the know about what Drake was doing in this time, but he was directly contributing and giving him ideas on where to go. And this isn't the only case of a rapper far removed from the center of the genre.
I don't know why he does this all the time. He always trying to compare himself to someone that's greater. You're a pop star, bro. You're not a rapper. You're a pop star. And you're not on the same level of pop as Michael Jackson. I'm sorry, you're not. You might have as many hits as him, but look at your audience. Look at your most popular songs. All pop songs. Nothing pertaining to actual, like, rap lyricism, man. We do not care, man.
We're saying that they were giving...
You don't dance, and if you do, it's the worst fucking shuffle I've ever seen. I mean, you can't compare. You're just Drake. You're a guy that got lucky, man. I'ma say it. He got lucky. He linked up with Wayne. You know, he might have some little money issues here and there with the Birdman, but you got lucky by being with one of the biggest rappers at the time, with Wayne, Lil Wayne, and they push you forward. But other than that, you're not really that good of a rapper, to be honest. In my opinion, he is not that great of a rapper. Not that great of a singer. Sure as hell can't dance. So I don't know why he keeps trying to compare himself to these big artists, man. He's just a guy that, you know, his fan base just takes whatever the fuck they get, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just whatever, man. He doesn't put any thoughts in his albums. His lyrical ability is so one-dimensional. It's just nothing that I can really enjoy, really. Maybe one of his sing-songy songs he has, but other than that, he's not that great to me. And I don't see it. I don't see what other people see in it. But you know what Kendrick said? Lame people like other lame people. Sorry. Not fucking sorry.
Giving Drake advice during the beef, because just a few months ago, Joe Budden also said that Drake was speaking to him about certain things during the back and forth, which is very telling about the network and echelon of rappers he was trying to hear from when it came to holding his own against Kendrick. But now with 50 saying that Drake had more diss tracks that were ready to go, and with the context of the conversation him and Big Boy were having, which was referring to when Kendrick Lamar dropped 4 entire diss tracks within the span of just a few days, overall this really just poses more questions than it gives answers about Drake, and him being in the booth and having material ready to go. Because with 50 Cent being in the loop with him and on some strong level, offering up advice and direction on where to go and how to make these major diss tracks entire full-fledged moments, as his brand, legacy, and name was directly ingrained in both Push-Ups and Family Matters, and then Drake having confirmed more songs ready to go that were dissing Kendrick after Not Like Us dropped. It makes you wonder why instead of releasing another song about Kendrick that could have redirected attention and saved his legacy, he just went out and wrote the Hard Part 6 as fast as he could instead. Which
he did not have tracks on tracks ready for him, man. I'm telling you.
Response tracks of all time. And while all this is jarring, when you think about everything we saw and see how after Kendrick Lamar threw out so many different disses Drake's way lyrically, in such a short period of time that he still hasn't been able to come back from, and remember that the bar Drake already set with his diss tracks was pretty much him calling Kendrick Lamar short every single way he could, and then trying to get a glimpse into his personal life and making some of the worst claims and rebuttals about it.
And absolutely fucking scuffed it. Scuffed it.
Range from him saying Dave Free was the father of one of his kids with no evidence, that Baby Keem writes his own songs when he was playing Minecraft while Kendrick entered the rap game as a top-tier MC, the Mother Eye lines, which I don't even have to get into how bad those are, and even when he went to an angle as ridiculous to talk about as why Whitney was following Dave Free and not Mr. Morale. It was clear that even on the songs Drake hyped up for months and that he was saying we're gonna end the career of Kendrick Lamar's as we knew it, that whether he realized it or not, that he already had nothing strong to say about him and was trying to treat Kendrick the same way he did with someone like Meek Mill. And believe
what he should have done is what J. Cole did, even though J. Cole apologized, but you should have just been like, you know what, your albums ain't shit, dog. My albums are better than yours. Y'all should just kept it rap. But then you want to do this personal shit, and look where it got you. Got you right back where it was with Pusha T. You got fucking washed. You don't learn from your own mistakes, man. I don't get it. He thinks he's untouchable.
That would work. But of course, very similar to what happened with Drake and Pusha T, but just way worse than that, because Kendrick actually has the popularity to take down Drake's massive image. K-Dot was just so prepared and already was able to do so much to shake down his image with just 4 full-on diss songs, that Drake knew that if he took it further and threw more tracks out of his own vault, and of course he already knew that Kendrick said he had even more diss tracks in stock because he said that directly on Not Like Us, that if those songs already made him the laughingstock of the rap game, if this back and forth continued, it would have managed to somehow make things even worse. And on some level, I do think that that is true. Because if Meet the Grams and Not Like Us were disses number 3 and 4, I don't even think we want to know what diss tracks number 5 and 6 may have been like. And if Drake really was the hitmaker that he was once revered as, and wasn't just manipulating the system to get all of his number ones this decade so far for the most part, which I am sure as he is in his next major situation already with his label and while he's trying to take down the success of Not Like Us as a whole, we are going to learn a lot more about just how artificially manipulated Drake's stuff has been for a very long time. Altogether, I think knowing this context that 50 has told us, unless Drake is planning to roll some of these songs out maybe around the Super Bowl or when his next album is coming out to try to make that project be a lot more interesting than it would be otherwise, this really solidifies that while he overestimated him at first, as soon as Euphoria released and then everything else happened, Drake was terrified of Kendrick Lamar, and while on the heart...
Absolutely, man. Euphoria is one of the best tracks out of the whole back and forth, I'll be honest with you. It's probably one of my favorite. It's probably my favorite over Not Like Us, I'll be honest with you. The different flows, every line, couldn't not waste a line on Drake. You know, every line, it was something towards him. It was great. It was great. I don't know how people say Family Matters is the best diss track. I don't understand it because he wasn't even concentrating on Kendrick until like the last half of that fucking song. But whatever, it's whatever, man. Drake fans are gonna just do what Drake fans do, fucking cope.
Hard Part 6, Drake may have framed it as a track where he was standing on a high ground over the antics of name-calling and deception. It was really him admitting that for a while. His ability to make a catchy diss record the way he once did with something like Back to Back, or anything in general that would rival Not Like Us, not just from a diss standpoint, but from a melody and vibe standpoint overall, is just absolutely gone. And Drake knows that he is washed and that he is never going to be able to make something as good and infectious as a moment like that. And just to further contextualize this, when we look at Drake since CLB really, Compared to the way he used to make anthems that the entire world knew and recognized immediately, he actually hasn't had a real hit in years, as whether it's from ghostwriters leaving him or just his own decline as an artist. From a structural level, he can't write songs the same way he used to, because seriously, with every album he has dropped this decade, the biggest songs off every single one of those records came and went as
The last good thing I heard from Drake was "If You're Reading This, It's Too Late." Other than that, after that, I just have not been paying attention to him at all, because he does not make anything that I enjoy. I don't care about any of your pop songs. I don't care about Way Too Sexy. I don't care about One Dance. I don't care about none of that shit, man. You made that for the females, and now the females are turning against you. So I mean, like, what can you do, man? Rap wise, you just weren't there for me. I'll be honest with you.
number ones off their initial hype, the features they had attached to them, or the sample that called back to an actual successful hit. And really recognizing this pattern and seeing that there's no more Drake anthems that have been released. And then seeing that In the Beef, Not Like Us was such a scathing and infectious diss track that Drake just decided to hold back on his vault of other disses, which with the way 50 talks about here sounded like there was a lot of. Altogether, what we can see is that even with a legend in his corner trying to help him win this thing like 50 Cent,
it ain't gonna work.
Drake's strategy was so terrible, and whether due to his own overconfidence or just the way he disregarded 50's words maybe, he never thought out how to actually effectively go after Kendrick Lamar, not just lyrically, because again, in hindsight, everything Drake had said fell apart almost on impact, but also in terms of just crafting a diss track in this day and age where these songs hit streaming platforms and become bigger cultural phenomenons than they ever have been before, which is a trend that he started. And overall, while Drake will never admit any of this, of course, all of this really proves that both as an actual MC, competitor, and as a hitmaker and pop star, which is something that Drake and everyone thought he would always have, Drake is beyond washed, and in this time where it's rumored that he wants more than anyone has ever gotten from his label in their upcoming deal that he's trying to make, and this is another reason why he is doing what he is to go against them, it's no surprise that he's not getting his way, because why would you give someone in rap what's the equivalent to a max contract to someone that has shown, despite their stardom years ago, that they are now on one of the biggest declines we have ever seen? And so now with all that said, let me know, what do you think about the news that Drake had more Kendrick Lamar diss tracks but decided to just hold back on continuing the beef after he dropped The Heart Part 6? And do you think that in the future, as Drake tries to make a comeback actually musically, that we may end up getting an updated version of some of these disses that he's been working on, or do you think we will never hear them at all? Well, I can't wait to hear what you have to say, and if you made it to this point in the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. And now, if you want to see how right alongside Drake maybe having more diss tracks behind the scenes, he's also trying to ruin Kendrick Lamar's upcoming tour and is just failing miserably at that, check out the suggested video.
Great video by Fantastic Hip Hop. But I'm telling you, man, Drake, he just, it doesn't look good for you, bro. Every time I see you trying to do something, it's just, it goes against you. It never works for you. It goes right back against you, man. Anyway, thank you guys for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know some of y'all are probably going to be mad at me. I don't care. I've been getting a lot of dislikes lately when it comes to Drake, so it doesn't matter. I'm fine with it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.